What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, we aren't just looking at another Central Division clash. We are looking at a statement of intent. The Detroit Pistons, once the Lotto Kings, have transformed into the monsters of the Eastern Conference. They're sitting at a staggering 27-9, fresh off a 31-point absolute demolition of the New York Knicks. But standing in their way tonight is a Chicago Bulls squad that is desperate to claw its way back into the playoff picture. The Bulls are sitting at 17-19, hanging on to that 9th seed by their fingernails. Is Detroit's dominance for real, or can Chicago pull off the upset and prove they still belong in the conversation? Grab your notes, bettors and fantasies. Managers, we're diving deep into the Motor City versus the Windy City.
Current form and standings, a tale of two tapes.
Low ranked 4th and are holding opponents to a league-best 44.4% field goal percentage. They aren't just winning, they are suffocating teams. The Bulls, on the other hand, have been an enigma. They've played at a breakneck pace, 102.3, ranked 3rd, which makes them a fantasy goldmine. But their defense has been a revolving door. They are giving up a 121.6 points per game, 26th in the NBA. While their offense is respectable, ranked 10th in PPG, they are currently sporting a net rating of 3.7. Detroit is elite on both ends. Chicago is a high-octane engine with no brakes.
The injury report, the X Factor.
This is where things get sticky. Both rosters are nursing some serious bruises that change the tactical landscape of this game. Detroit Pistons, they'll be without their anchor, Jalen Duren, ankle, and veteran wing Tobias Harris, hip. This means Isaiah Stewart, who leads the team, with 2-point Chicago Bulls. The news is worse here. Josh Giddey is out, hamstring. That is a massive blow considering he's their primary facilitator, averaging 9.0 assists. Kobe White, calf, and the rookie sensation, Matas Buzelis' illness are both questionable. If Kobe White can't go, the Bulls' backcourt becomes incredibly thin, putting immense pressure on Ayo, Dosunmu, and Trey Jones to create offense against a top-tier Detroit defense.
Star matchup, Cade Cunningham versus the Bulls perimeter.
The headliner tonight, Cade Cunningham. The man is playing at an MVP fringe level. Stats, 26.7 PPG, 6.2 REB, 9.7 AST. Advanced metrics, Cade is sporting a true shooting, a scent of 57.6% and a usage rate that rarely dips below 30%. With Giddey out, the Bulls don't have a natural matchup for Cade's size at the point. They'll likely throw Ayo Dosunmu or Isaac Okoro at him, but Cade has been a triple-double threat every single night. In his last outing against New York, he dropped 29 and 13 in just 29 minutes. He is the definition of a clutch gene player who controls the tempo from the jump. On the other side, look for Nikola Vučević. With Duren out, Vuč, 16.4 PPG, 9.1 REB, has a massive technical advantage in the post. If Chicago wants to stay in this, they have to exploit the mismatch against Beef Stew and force Detroit to help in the paint, opening up the shooters.
Tactical breakdown, the chess match.
How does Detroit win? Transition and paint dominance, even without Duren. Detroit ranks 2nd in the NBA in fast break. Points, 18.3 and 2. And in points in the paint, 57.7. They want to turn Chicago's misses into easy buckets before the Bulls' shaky transition defense can set up. How does Chicago win? The 3-point variance. Detroit is actually 26th in the league in 3-pointers made. Chicago needs to turn this into a math game. If they can get Kevin Huerter and potentially Kobe White hot from the arc, they can negate Detroit's interior scoring. They have to play fast, but they have to play smart. Vegas has opened this with the Pistons as the injury report. If Kobe White sits, Chicago's scoring ceiling drops significantly. The logic. Vegas expects Detroit to dominate the glass and the paint. Without Giddey to stabilize the offense, Chicago is prone to high turnover stretches, which Detroit's 3rd-ranked steal unit will feast on.
Final prediction.
I expect the Pistons to come out with that right mindset. Coach Bickerstaff has been preaching. Even with Duren out, Detroit's depth is too much for a depleted Bulls roster. Cade Cunningham will orchestrate a clinic, and Osar Thompson will likely lock down whoever Chicago's hot hand is. Final score, Detroit Pistons 122, Chicago Bulls 108. All right, I want to hear from you. Fantasy owners, are you starting Isaiah Stewart with Duren out, or do you think Vuč eats him alive? Bettors, is 10.5 too much for Detroit, or is this a lock given Chicago's injuries? Drop your score predictions in the comments below. If you it's for Cade Cunningham and Nikola Vučević,